शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
So we discussed the Purvapaksha and its answer. Nanu anyo hiranyagarbhaga kshetrakyo dekshine akshini akshnoko niyanta drashta cha anyo dekaswami na soto bheda anabhibhagavat. So the Purvapaksha was raised. That's the question was, the Hiranyagarbha is Sukshma and it is Prapancha Antargata, Aditya Antargata. It is internal, it is the cosmic mind, and it is universal, but internal. And Virat is Prapancha Rupa. It is Aditya Mandala Rupa, that is a Bhasha language, It is the form of the whole universe. It is omnipresent or pervading, which is rather external. It is Sthula compared to Hiranyagarbha. So how can these be two? So that question was raised and then the answer was given. Now, after that, Sarveshu Karaneshu Abhiseshu Api Dikshanakshini Ubalabdhi Padavan Tatra Viseshena Nirdeshakasya Vishasya Dikshanasya Dorupam Drishtva. Then the Bhashya discussed how we travel, how we move from Vishwa state, Sthula state, that is waking state, to dream and then deep sleep. So in that particular paragraph, in the sentence, the Bhashyakara makes a unique statement, but that is, our Swapna and Smriti are identical. Just as we see things in dream, after recollecting the impressions and imageries from waking state, so also we recollect from external world after seeing. Then when we close the eyes, that's why, Nimilidakshaha tadeva smaran manasi antaswapneiva. So when you see something and then Nimilidakshaha, when you close your eyes, so manasi ante smaran, and then you just visualize, you re-experience what you have seen at the external level, you see within yourself, but eyes completely closed. Now, that is called Smriti. Similarly, in Swapna, in dream, we relive or re-experience what you have already experienced and lived through in waking state. So, that's why Smriti and Swapna are identical and similar. And then, how from Swapna we travel to Sushupti, that was discussed. So, after waking state and dream state, where all days will come to an end, they will terminate at a point of emptiness, shunyata, where you don't experience anything, there is no anyatha grahanam, but there is only agrahanam, and we remember that experience only after coming out of that experience. So you can find Akasicha Hrudismaranakhi Vyaparo Uparame Prakeki Bhuta. So it's called, Smaranakhyam. It is that particular process of our knowing sushupti, deep sleep, prajna state, is only in the form of memory. So memory is that smriti is totally different from the smriti that we experience when we close our eyes and then visualize things from within. No, not that way. That smarana comes only after we come out of that sushupti state. So why it is called, vyapara uparame prajna eki bhuta. And it says, mano vyapara abhavat. So in that sushupti state, mano vyapara abhavaha. Means mano vyaparanam abhava. Means there is neither darshana nor smarana. So you have to remember this bhashya language. Darshana smarane. Evahi manaspantite. That's the language. Manaspantite. It's actually vyakarana. The consonant will become vowel sound. That is, you can find, the guna will become vowel sound. So that's why, so you can see, mano vyapara abhava darshana smarane evahi manaspantite. Darshana means seeing. That relates to Vishwa state. That is Jagrat state. Smarana, that relates to Swapna state, Taijasa state. So, Darshana smarane evahi manaspantite. So that is a divajana. Manaspantanam or manaspantitam exists only in waking state and dream state. Tad abhave, in the absence of that manaspantana, sheshena pranatmana avasthanam. Hridi means hridayakasha. So hridayakasha is considered to be the sthanam. Sthanam actually doesn't mean necessarily a place or a station. It means the particular status with which the jiva identifies. So if you say, for example, antasthanam. Antasthanam is Swapna state. So in Swapna state, the jiva or the witness identifies himself as within. All experiences are happening within. Like that, darshana smarane evahi manaspantite tad abhave. In the absence of darshana and smarana, in the absence of Jagrat state and Swapna state, when Jagrat and Swapna come to natural culmination, hridayeva avisheshena. In the hridaya akasha, we experience that prajna state. Avisheshena here means avyakrita. So avyakrita state, whenever we hear or read about avyakrita, we should remember desha kala vastu bodha shunyata. That is the Advaitic understanding of avyakrita. I mean the state of unmanifestedness. So the whole creation, Asadeva Sadavumya, you can find in the Chandogya, there are many statements here, where Asat means avyakrita state. So the whole creation is vyakrita state. It is called manifest state. That manifestation originates from non-manifestation. And that non-manifestation is called avyakrita state. So prajna state or sushupti state is considered to be desha kala vastu bodha abhava. Means there is no identification in terms of place, time, or any particular entity. There is total shunyata. So that state is called avyakrita state. So Bhashya says tadabhave. Tadabhave means in the abhava of darshana smarana, in the abhava of manaspantita. What happens? Hridayeva avisheshena. In the hridayakasha avisheshena. Avisheshena again means as avyakrita rupena, as avyakrita, as the unmanifest state. Pranatmana avasthanam. Then the prajna remains, it is seen, is established itself as pratyagatma. Prana means pratyagatma. You find in the bhashya later, there is a long discussion as to why and how you can use the word prana in the context of avyakrita. How can we consider prana as avyakrita? That discussion will come later. That will, in the coming pages, it will come. So that's why, in the absence of darsana and smarana, in the absence of anyatha grahana, in the absence of manaspandana, what happens? The manovyapara bhava takes place, and in the absence of all these, this prajna gets established in that particular sthana of akasha, hridaya akasha. Prano hi eva edan sarvan samvrinte. So there is a discussion in the Chandogya where Samvarga Vidya is discussed. Raikva teaches Samvarga Vidya, where prana here means avyakrita, which is avishesha, pratyagatma, antaryami, ishara. All these are different terms used to indicate prana in this particular context. We should remember prana as we normally, we understand prana, apana, vyano, dana, samana, pancha pranas. It is not that prana that is indicated here. The prana here means antaryami. Antaryami means ishara. It means avyakrita, the unmanifest stage. So prano hi eva edan sarvan samvrinte. The Chandogya. So those of you, of course, the statement is this in the it comes in the 4th chapter. Adhyatmam prano vava samvargas sayada sopiti pranameva vak appedi pranam chakshu pranam sotram pranam mana prano hi eva edan sarvan samvrinte. What happens is that samvarga, but everything gets merged into its original causal form. When a person goes to deep sleep, sushupti, what happens? Vagindriyam gets merged with prana, chakshurindriyam, srotrindriyam, mana, all these will get merged into prana, because prana itself, that prana here we should remember, prana here means antaryami, avyakrita or ishara. And in the Mandukya mantra, even esha sarveshwaras, etc. Sarvajna, antaryami, all these terms are used to indicate the samashti aspect of sushupti, that is avyakrita, ishara, sarvajna, antaryami, etc. So the statement prano hi eva edan sarvan samvrinte. So this prana, this avyakrita, which is called as a pratyagatma, it contains or it absorbs into itself everything. So that is called samvarga. So that samvarga vidya is discussed here in this particular context. So Bhashyakara is trying to establish the point he has already made, that this prana is sarva antaryami, it is avyakrita, and because it contains in it everything, it absorbs everything into itself. It is fundamental principle. It is a upasana. So it is a meditative practice, maybe prevalent in ancient times, called Samvarga Vidya. Vidya here means upasana. Vidya involves understanding something and then prasankhyana, dhyana. So that particular process of upasana, which is a way to reach chitta shuddhi, jnana prapti and moksha, that particular, there are 108 vidyas discussed in the Dashopanishad, of which 36 are very important. Samvarga Vidya, Bhruvi Vidya, it's called Varuni Vidya, like that, Dahara Vidya, there are Bhuma Vidya and several Vidyas. We will discuss this right now. So Bhashyakara is quoting this Chandogya Suti Pranohi Evayedan Sarvan Samvrinti Iti Sutehi. Iti Sutehi means there is such a Sruti statement. So there are a few things to be kept in mind here. The Manaspantita, that should be kept in mind. So according to Advaita Vedanta as expounded in the Mandukya Kariga, Mandukya Upanishad, Manaspandana or Manaspantita at the level of Prajna gives forms to Jagrat and Swapna experiences. Manaspandana or Manaspantita at the level of Ishvara, the Samashti Bhava of Sushupti state, gives birth to this creation, this Drishya Prapancha. So Drishya Prapancha is the creation, it originates from the Samashti aspect of Sushupti state. It's called Avyagada Antaryami Ishvara. That's why Ishvara is, everything that you see, the whole Drishya Prapancha is a vibration. It's a Manaspantidam of Ishvara, not of Jiva. Jiva, at the Jiva level, at the Veshti level, is a Prajna. Prajna also as it can cause creation of the world, but that world is our own world, the world that we experience in Jagra state, in Supna state. It is a fraction of the Drishya Prapancha. So what we experience in waking state is actually a creation of our emotions, feelings, the idea. That is true, but that is true only in the context of our own private world, our emotions, which all depends upon our vasana, samskaras, karma, vritti, samskara, sankalpa. It's called karma, samskara, chakram in the language of the Patanjali Yoga philosophy. So all that we experience is in a way creation of our own mind, because after coming out of deep sleep, sushupti, our karmas, vrittis, vasanas, samskaras, they begin to function again, and we come back to the old world in which we lived before we went to sleep. So also Swapna. Swapna also it happens, but at the mental level, subtle level, internal level. In Jagra state, it happens at the external level, physical level, sthula level. Because whatever we experience depends upon our own karmas, samskaras, vrittis, our own, we call dependent upon avidya. But that is a fraction of the cosmic existence, Drishya Prapancha. That Drishya Prapancha is not the creation of our mind, is the creation of Ishvara, Antaryami, Vyakrita, which is a samashti aspect of Sushupti state. And of course there is similarity and identity between Prajna and Vyakrita, just as there is similarity and identity between Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is cosmic mind. And there is similarity between Vishwa and Vaishwanara, no doubt. But the Drishya Prapancha, the cosmos, the entire cosmic existence, is the result of Manaspandanam of Ishvara. So, we very often, this is not frequently understood. So, you find in very superficial terms, people talk about the world being the creation of our own mind. The world is not the creation of our mind. Our world is the creation of our mind. That is true. And mostly the misunderstanding comes because people mix up the ideas mentioned in the Yoga Vasishtha with the philosophy of Advaita as expounded by Shankaracharya. Because Yoga Vasishtha is is an outlook from the highest standpoint, from the top of the terrace, let us say, where you don't see any difference. And Yoga Vasishta, when Yoga Vasishta mentioned, you can see in the Yoga Vasishta, whenever these vrittis emerge like waves in an ocean, then the world begins to originate. And when vrittis subside, the world also ceases to exist. So we have to remember there the vrittis or the emergence of vrittis indicate manaspandidam or manaspandanam of Ishvara, not of individual jivas. That is an important point to remember. Now here is an aksheva, here Purvapaksha comes here. Nanu vyakrita pranaha susupte tadatmagani karanani bhavanti katham avyakritata. The simple point is this, before we enter the subject I tell you. The Purvapaksha is this. In deep sleep, there are two ways of looking at the whole experience. One is called Susupta Drishti, the other is called Parshvastha Drishti. Susupta Drishti or Sausupta Drishti means the outlook or the approach from the standpoint of the person who is in deep sleep. That is Susupta Drishti. From the standpoint of Susupta, the one you are deep sleep, you are in deep Susupti, it is obviously Avyakrita because you don't see anything. From his own point of view, a person who is in deep sleep, Susupti state, he doesn't experience anything. There, the pranas are totally non-functional. So we can say they are unmanifest, they are in a Avyakrita state. But a person who is sitting nearby, who observes the person in deep sleep or Sushupti state, he can see that sleeping person, the person in Sushupti is breathing, he may be snoring, he may be talking in deep sleep, and he is making sounds, all that. So can we say the prana is really absent? That is Parshvastha Drishti. Parshva means Parshve Sthitaha. So Anandagiri makes some very interesting statement here. Anyway, we will come to that. So he says, Hiranyagarbhasya samashti मनोनिष्ठत्व तैजसस्य व्यष्टि मनोगतत्व तयोश्च समष्टि व्यष्टि मनोः एकत्व तद्गतयोरपि तैजस हिरण्यगर्भयोः एकत्वम् उचितम्. So Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha are the same. That point is established here before the Purvapaksha begins. So that point is Taijasa Hiranyagarbha manasthatvat. So lingam manaha manomayoyam purusha ityadi sudipyaha. So the point is Hiranyagarbha, you should remember, it is prapancha mana, it is cosmic mind. And it is sometimes called Sutratma. Sometimes it may be called in modern English, they call it cosmic energy. That is also not wrong. So, after establishing the identity of Vishwa and Taijasa, the next sentence, Bhashyakara is trying to establish the identity and oneness of Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha. After that, the Purvapaksha Siddhanta comes. These are together, these are interrelated. Taijasaha Hiranyagarbha manasthatvad. So, manasthatva means for Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha, mana is the upadhi. That's the meaning of manasthatvam. For both Taijasa, that is the Jiva in dream state, Supna state, and Hiranyagarbha, the samashti aspect of Taijasa, that is the cosmic aspect, it's called Hiranyagarbha. Manasthatvam is common to both Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha, and therefore they are identical. Manasthatva means both depend upon mana as the upadhi. That's the meaning. Because Taijasa also experiences everything at the mind level, in dream. So also Hiranyagarbha. So Hiranyagarbha is said to be the Samashti Bhava. Samashti Bhava doesn't mean the numerical totality of the entire created beings with mind. Rather, it is called the essential totality. What is the essential totality? That's the only close approximation in English language that we can think of. What it means is that Samashti contains all the Veshtis, but it is not just an external numerical totality of Veshtis. That's the meaning here. The Samashti expresses itself in all the Veshtis. So that's the meaning of Hiranyagarbha. And they are both the same, and the reason is given Manasthatvam. Manasthatvam, again as I mentioned, it is the mind is the instrument. Lingam Manaha, here is a Sudhi Pramana is quoted here. Lingam Manaha. So even for Hiranyagarbha, which is actually cosmic mind, Samashti Mana. So mind is again the upadhi for Hiranyagarbha. Manomayoyam Purushaha ityadi Sudibhyaha. So the only difference between Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha is Ubadhi Bheda. Means Hiranyagarbha depends upon the Samashti Mana, and Taijasa depends upon the Vyashti Mana, or the individual mind. Individual mind, we experience things in dream, but in the totality, Samashti, cosmic level, it is called Hiranyagarbha. The mind, Manastattvam is common. Now here the Purvapaksha comes. Nanu Vyakritaka Pranaha Sushupte. In Sushupti state, prana is Vyakrita. That is the Purvapaksha view. But that is true only from the Parshastha point of view. Tadatmakani Karanani Bhavanti. Tadatmakani Pranatmakani. Means you can find prana functions. Prana is very active when you observe a person in deep sleep, Sushupti state. So how can you say it is Avyakrita? So it is Vyakrita. This is the point of view put forward by Purvapakshi, objector. Katham Avyakritata? That is the question. Here Bhashyakara replies, Naisha Dhoshaha. There is no such problem. Avyakritasya desha kala vishesha abhavat. Avyakrita is beyond desha, kala and vishesha. Desha means space or place, kala means time, and vishesha means distinguishing factor, abhava means absent. You can include desha, kala, vastu, bodha, shunyata, sometimes it is called in other contexts. That is the common characteristic of Avyakta. The Bhashyakara says that both prana and Avyakta share the same lakshana. So you find prana bandhanam hi somi mana, that Chandogya Sruti Pramanam will be quoted. It comes in the context of Sadaiva Saumya Idam Agre Asita. Those of you are interested can read the 6th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad over Uddaraga's instruction to Shetaketu. So many of the quotations from the Chandogya Shruti that we are going to refer to from that 6th chapter. Not all, of course. So, Bhashyakara says, both Avyakrita and Prana share the same Lakshana. Why? What is the Lakshana? Prana as this Avyakritattvam, because Desha Kala Vishesha Bhavatvam. So also Avyakrita. Avyakrita itself means non-manifest or unmanifest. Manifestation itself implies things can be recognized in terms of time, space, causation, itera bheda, and all. When you, Bhashyakara already established earlier, when you look at the objects on the other bank of the river, and there is total darkness. So, Naisha Tamo Grasta, that is the meaning. Means, suppose the objects on the other side of the river are caught or enveloped or trapped in the pitch darkness of Nisha, night, then what happens, Everything will be seen to be one mass of unrecognizable, indistinct things. That is aham mentioned. During daytime itself it could happen. Even during daytime, what we are seeing things are different. Suddenly, when sunset comes, all those things which we are seen during daytime as distinct objects, like building is different from trees, and trees are different from vehicles, and they are different from human beings, and so on. You can see things, you can tell one thing from another in daytime. So those very objects get completely enveloped in a kind of non-recognizable darkness. When darkness comes, when night comes, everything becomes non-recognizable, unrecognizable. So that state is Avyakrita. So that means Desha, Kala, Bheda, all these distinctions appear to disappear. They happen to be non-recognizable. So that is the state to be understood of Avyakrita. Yadyapi pranabhimane sati vyakrita iva pranasya. Now, during in Jagrata and Swapna state, when during Jagrata state and Swapna state, when you have got a pranabhimana is there, at that time all the mano buddhi vyaparas are there, so things appear to be vyakrita. So long as mano buddhi vyaparas are there, things should be vyakrita. Vyakrita means manifest. Things that we can recognize are distinct one from the other. Pranasya. Tathapi pinda parichinna vishesha abhimana nirodhaka. Pinda means sharira. Parichinna means actually limited by something that is limited, defined by. Vishesha abhimana nirodhaka. Vishesha means, well, this is my name, I live here, that person is the another person, so this is my job. All these distinctions, all these identities related to pinda parichinna abhimana. Pinda means sharira. Because all these distinctions, this is my name, I stay, I live here, this is my job, all these identities are related to Sharira Abhimana. And along with the Sharira Abhimana, Mana, Buddhi, Vyaparas also will come. When all these identities disappear, that's called, Abhimana Nirodha Pranasya. That's what happens. Prane Bhavati iti Avyakrita eva Pranaka. So what is Avyakrita is again mentioned here at the individual experience level. What is Avyakrita so far as we are concerned? When we experience deep sleep, Sushupti. First of all, we lose our identity in terms of Pinda Sharira, and we lose our identity in terms of what we are in relation to our physical or mental identity, and also all the mana buddhi vyaparas are completely gone. Their nirodha takes place. Prane bhavati iti avyakrita eva pranaha. This is avyakrita state. That's why pinda parichinna vishesha abhimana nirodhaka prane bhavati iti avyakrita eva pranaha. Susupte parichinna abhimanavatam. On the other hand, this happens even to a person who is parichinna abhimanavan. A person who has got this pinda parichinna vishesha abhimana. I am this person, this is my job, this is my name, this is my profession, etc. All these abhimanas are there for common people during waking state, Jagrat state and Swapna state. Even for such persons, what happens, pinda parichinna vishesha abhimana nirodha takes place in deep sleep, when they go to deep sleep. So when I read, perhaps when I explain, you have to look at the Bhashya literature, because I am trying to explain the literal exposition and give a literal explanation, and also the philosophical description. So that's the meaning here. So the point is, Bhashyakara wants to establish the point, that is the Siddhanta Paksha, that is from Susupta state, this the prana in deep sleep, Susupti, is avyakrita, because the Susupta, the sleeping person, doesn't experience anything. The false notion that pranas are vyakrita comes only to a parshastha. Somebody who is not sleeping, maybe sitting in a chair watching another person sleeping. He thinks, well, this man is not his prana is not avyakrita, because he is making sound, he is breathing, he is snoring, and so on. The point is, even at that stage, even from a parshastha point of view, prana is avyakrita. That is what the Bhashyakara is going to establish. Yatha pranalaye parichinnaabhimaninam. And to establish the point, he gives the example. Yatha pranalaye. Pranalaya means death. That is, mukhya prana will stop all vrittis. And then mukhya prana will go back to its sukshma talam. Means it goes back to its own, it gets merged in avyakrita state. So that is called pranalaya. So the Bhashyakara says, what really happens in Susupti state and what really happens in death are the same. But it should not be mistaken that it is identical or anything. There is similarity, in that sense it is same. What is similarity? A Sushupti person, a person who is going to deep sleep, is going to a state where Desha Kala Vastu Bodha Nirodha happens, where there is complete cessation of differences in terms of time, space, causation, etc. That happens in death also. But difference is, in Sushupti state, the Mukhya Prana is still present in the person. That's why the sleeping person returns to waking state. The Mukhya Prana leaves the physical body in death. But in deep sleep, the vritti pranas means different the functions of the pranas will all get merged in mukhya prana, but mukhya prana remains active it remains, it is still present in the physical body. So far as the Sushupti person is concerned, he is not breathing, he is not walking, he is not eating food. Because all these different functions are the functions of different dimensions of Mukhya Prana. So, therefore, as Sushupti, for the person in Sushupti is concerned, he is not doing anything. But because Mukhya Prana is present, he is still alive. But in death, Mukhya Prana also leaves the physical body. Thus, yatha pranalaye parichinnabhimaninam pranaha avyakritaha. Pranalaye means at the time of death. Parichinnabhimaninam. Parichinnabhimanam means pinda parichinna visheshabhimaninam in that sense. Persons who are fully active, who identify themselves in terms of their work and identity, etc. Their prana becomes avyakrita. Tatha pranabhimaninaha api avisheshapatto avyakrita samana. Similarly, what happens? Avisheshapatto. This avisheshapatti means avyakrita state. Avyakrita state where everything gets merged back. All the Upapranas get merged in Mukhya Prana in Sushupti state. But Mukhya Prana remains intact in Sushupti. So that is Avyakrita state, where everything gets merged back to their causal form. That is Avyakrita. The unmanifest state of Mukhya Prana is still very much present in the Sushupti state. So the person comes back. And when becomes Vyakrita, he begins to experience different things in waking state. He wakes up. Because all the vrittis, vasana, samskaras are there, because avidya is there. Avidya is not gone. So naturally, when he wakes up from deep sleep, the Vyakrita again becomes Vyakrita. The unmanifest becomes again manifest. So he begins to experience different things. So you find in the Chandogya Simhova, Vyagrova, Mursakova, you find all the different animals, insects, lions and tigers, they also go to deep sleep. And they also come back and they come back to their original vrittis, vasanas and samskaras because the avidya is perfectly intact. That's what happens to human beings because Sushupti doesn't have a transformative effect on our character. In a way, that's what happens in death also. In death, Mukhya Prana leaves and go back to their Vyakrita state. But there, the next incarnation, next creation takes place at the level of Antaryami. So the creation as such, even death of a person and the birth of a person happens because of Antaryami. There's a lot of discussion. How can we say, for example, death of a person is decided by Antaryami, not by Jiva. Jiva cannot decide when, an ordinary Jiva cannot decide when we are going to deep sleep, Sushupti. You cannot fix a time. From this time onwards I will go to sleep. No, you may go to sleep, try to sleep, but when you are actually going to begin sleeping, that is not within your control. Of course, we are talking about natural state, not drug-induced sleep or anything. We are just talking about natural state of Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, not artificial state. So also waking up from deep sleep is also not within the freedom of a Jiva. That's why, that's why Jiva, according to Vedanta, has no power for Jnanam, Ichcha and Kriti. To take a will and a desire and act accordingly. Jnanam, Ichcha, Kriti. In these three areas, jivas have no freedom, really speaking. So, when a person is going to die, that also a person cannot decide. The point is, the cosmic level, the Antaryami, what we call Ishvara, decides that when a physical body becomes unfit to hold Mukhya Prana, then it will die. This becoming unfit can happen due to many causes. That there is a lot of option for changes. But the basic principle that a person can remain alive only so far as Mukhya Prana finds this physical body as fit to inhabit or to reside in. That is the fundamental law at the cosmic level and the Avyakrita level. So you can find here there are two types of creation. So I should explain this one. The same Chaitanya as Avyakrita, Antaryami, creates Manaspandana and Prapancha Srishti, and the same Chaitanya as existing at Jiva level, Veshti level, that Manaspandana, and then experiencing Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti state. But when we actually go to waking state, to dream state, deep sleep state, that exact point we do not have freedom. Here we are talking only about natural Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti state. The Bhashikara says, Tatha pranabhimanino abhi avisheshapatto avyakrtada samana. So also, in Swapna and Jagrat state, though we experience Vyakrita state, still in Sushupti there is this avisheshapatti, where you don't see different things, you don't see things in terms of manifestation. So it becomes Avyakritapatti, Avyakrita state emerges. At that time, Avyakrita samana. Prasava bijatmakatvam cha. Prasava bijatmakatvam. That should be understood clearly here. Prasava bijatmakatvam. So, Brahman is, this becomes a matter of discussion in the coming discussions. Brahman is interpreted in two different ways. One is Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma is supposed to have Prasava Bijatmakatvam. Means it contains the seed for creation of the universe. That's the meaning of Prasava Bijatmakatvam. Avyakrita state, Antaryami state, as the Prasava Bijatmakatvam, because from that Antaryami Ishvara only the entire Prapancha originates. That is Antaryami, the Samashti dimension of Sushupti. The Veshti dimension of Sushupti, Prajna state. From the Prajna state also emerges dream experiences and also later waking state experiences. So, Prajna state contains the seeds of origination of Jagrat and Swapna, and the Samashti, that is the Ishvara state, Avyakrita state, contains the Prasava Bijatmakatvam for creating the entire Drishya Prapancha. So, the Prasava Bijatmakatvam also is Samanam. That is the explanation here. Both have got the potential for creating things. Tadadhyakshascha ekaha. Adhyaksha here means the Sakshi, the presiding person. Both for Prajna state and also Avyakrita state, the Chaitanyam is also ekaha. And what is that Chaitanyam? That is Avyakrita avastha. That is that Adhyaksha, the Sakshi, the witness, the one who is present all the time, that is the same Chaitanyam. Parichinabhimaninam adhyakshanam cha tena ekatvam purvoktam visheshanam eki bhudaha prajnanaghana ityadi upapannam. So, Parichinabhimaninam adhyakshanam, that is for those who are going through Jagra state and Swapna state, those who are still identifying themselves with the physical body, mind, intellect and so on. Adhyakshanam cha tena ekatvam. So there is plurality and multiplicity in terms of prajna, because all the people, all the beings, all the creatures, the whole creation, different objects and different species, they go to Sushupti state. And they have got one Chaitanya present in all of them. Let us say 8 billion people in the world go to Sushupti state. So 8 billion, let us say Parichinabhimanam Adhyakshanam. So there are 8 billion Adhyakshas, 8 billion presiding Chaitanyas in 8 billion human beings inhabiting the earth. That Adhyaksha, that Sakshi, witness, and the Sakshi witness present in Antaryami, they are the same. That's why Parichinabhimaninam Adhyakshanam cha tena ekatvam. Tena means here, it is a reference to Antaryami. The Saha means tena. Antaryamina Saha in that sense. So, the Sakshi, the subject, the one who is present in the Hridayakasha of all the 8 billion people living in this world, is that Sakshi. I mean, so let's say 8 billion witnesses, 8 billion subjects, 8 billion Sakshi, so to speak. And the Sakshi of the cosmic Avyakrita, that is the samashti dimension of all the prajnas, that witness are the same. Tena ekatvam. Iti purvoktam. Iti this is the real implication. Purvoktam visheshanam eki bhudaha. So, we already mentioned here Purvoktam eki bhudaha. That's again is a reference to mantra. You have to refer to the mantra now. That eki bhuda that comes in the mantra itself. Prajnana ghana eki bhuda, etc. All come. This is a description of prajna state, Sushupti state in the mantra. That is a reference here. Iti purvoktam visheshanam eki bhudaga prajnana ghana ityadi upapannam. So how do you justify, what is the upapatti for saying that Ishvara, Sarveshwara, Sarvajna, Antaryami, Avyakrita and the Prajnana Ghana, the Prajna are the same. Where is the upapatti? Where is the justification? The justification is this: Parichinabhimaninam Adhyakshanam cha tena ekatvam. So Adhyaksha here means, the witness, that Sakshi, the foundational principle for the Sakshis, for the witnesses present in all the beings in Sushupti state, the one who is experiencing all this, and the Sakshi, the Adhara, the foundational principle of Ishvara are the same. Tena ekatvam. This ekatvam is the only upapatti, is the only yukti, only logical explanation for the mantra. What is the mantra? Prajnana ghana, visheshana, ekibhuta prajnana ghana, etc. This is a part of the mantra. The mantra, the logic of the mantras is being expounded clearly by Bhashyakara. Tasmin edasmin ukta hedu sattvacha. So this tasmin, that is param. Tasmin means in that context, Paramatma Bhava at the highest sense, the Sakshi or witness of Ishvara and Sakshi of all the Prajnas in all the Jivas are the same. The Adhara, the foundational principle is the same. Okay, now we have few more minutes. Next is there is a Purvapaksha. Katham prana sabdatvam avyakritasya. That's the bhash. That is the Shanka. It is not a Purvapaksha, but a possible doubt that people may raise in their minds. It's not a Purvapaksha from another school of philosophy. We are going to those discussions later. But here, a possible doubt that could emerge in this context, that's the meaning, is Shanka. Katham prana sabdatvam avyakritasya. Avyakritasya prana sabdatvam katham, that's the meaning here. Now normally, by the word prana, we mean a Shakti Vishesha, a peculiar potency. That's what we mean by Prana, Vana, Vyano, Dana, Samana, and then these Pancha Pranas have got their own assistants, pranas, different devas or different names you find in the Upanishadic literature, Paurani literature you find. Each prana has its own functionaries or maybe assistants who are responsible for different functions of the Sharira. So this is normal understanding of the word prana. It's a prasiddhartham of prana. But here, you are using the prana shabda in a different sense. Here, you are using prana shabda to mean, as if prana shabda means avyakrita, antaryami, etc. So what is the explanation for this new meaning you are giving to the word prana, which has got a limited meaning in normal language? So Bhashyakara is referring to a Chandogya Smriti again. Prana bandhanam hi somyamana iti sutehe. So prana here means antaryami, which is the Sushupti dimension, it is Samashti dimension of Sushupti state, which is again non-distinct from Brahman. So frequently prana can also mean Brahman, but in this particular mantra context, it means Antaryami or Ishvara. So you can find this mantra here. It is called Shakuni Drishtanta is Uddalaka is beginning preparations, so to speak, leading to the first Upadesha of Tattvamasi to Shvetaketu. It comes in the 8th section, 8th khanda of the 6th chapter of the Chandogya. It will be followed by Upadesha, the first Upadesha, which again will be followed by 8 repetitions with 8 Drishtanta. So Drishtantas, you find Adhukud Drishtanta, Nadi Drishtanta, Jivan Bhiksha Drishtanta, Nigyodaphala Drishtanta, and all the 8 repetitions of Drishtantas, examples. So there Uddalaka says, Prana bandhanam hi somyamana. So this mind, jiva here means mind, mana, jiva is implied by the word mana here. So mana here means jiva, and prana means antaryami, not pancha prana. So this antaryami is actually linked, inseparably linked to jiva, mind. That is the literal meaning here. So Bhashyakara is quoting the Shruti. So that means mind is, jiva is linked to antaryami. And not only that, prana is what sustains jiva. Jiva is sustained by prana. And antaryami is avyakrita. So it is perfectly logical to use the word avyakrita or antaryami in the context of prana. That's the justification given. So there, prana is used to mean antaryami. That's the meaning here. So that's the justification. Now again there is another Purvapaksha. Nanu tatra sadeva soumya idam agre asid, etc. That is again, that comes before the pranabandhanam ki soumyamana. So in pranabandhanam ki soumyamana, prana means antaryami, antaryami is avyakrta, and antaryami is Ishvara, sarvajna, as mentioned in the Mandukya Upanishad. So it is perfectly logical to use the word avyakrta or antaryami to mean prana. So the answer is complete. Another possible shanka comes. Nanu tatra, in this context, because this particular mantra comes in the 8th khanda, 8th section of the 6th chapter, and the context of that mantra is Sadeva Soumya idam agra asid ekameva advitiyam, and that comes at the second section, that is much earlier. So the context of pranabandhanam ki soumyamana is Sadeva Soumya idam agra asid, and in this mantra Sadeva Soumya idam agra asid iti prakritam. Prakritam means context. The context of the statement is Sabbrahma Pranashabdavachyam. So that's meaning here. So here the context is Sat Brahma, Brahman which is Sat. That's the context. So that is a Purvapaksha raises another doubt. Bhashyakara says Naishadoshaka Bijatmagatvat abhyupagamat sataka. The Bijatmagatvam. So Sadbrahma Sadeva Soumya idam agra asid, in that context Sat is used to mean Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma, who is responsible for the creation of the world. And Avyakrta is considered to be Prasava Bijatmagatvam. Prasava Bijatmagatvam means Avyakrta contains the seed for creation of the universe. As I mentioned, it is because of the Manaspandanam of Avyakrta or Ishvara that the entire Drishya Prapanja originates. And Sadbrahma, used in Sadeva Soumya idam agra asid, is used as Saguna Brahma by Bijatmagat to Abhyupagamat. So we have to understand Sat Shabda as Bijatmagat to Abhyupagama. That's how we should understand. So Bijatmagatvat Abhyupagamat Sataha. So Sataha Bijatmagatvat idi Abhyupagama. That's the Yojita here. So the Sat Brahma, the Sat is used in the context of Sat Brahma, that is, which is responsible for creation of the universe, which contains the potential for originating the universe, creating the universe. That is the context. And that characteristic is the most important characteristic of Avyakrta. Avyakrta also is considered to be the cause of origination of the universe. Avyakrta or Ishvara. So the use of Prana Shabda to mean Avyakrta is perfectly logical. That is the Siddhanta Paksha which I answered. Now we'll continue maybe next class. Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Pranamastu.